Position breakdown number 2 here on Canadian Cock Talk on the Spurs Up Show, the home of all your best Gamecocks content on the internet. Position breakdowns continue for your 2021 Gamecocks football team. Last time out, we did quarterbacks, and now we're getting into the most exciting and thrilling part of this whole Gamecocks team. I tell you right, ladies and gentlemen, because the running back room for the South Carolina Gamecocks this year is dangerous, and whether you might not think it because you're so used to hearing Gamecocks talk about Gamecocks and Gamecock fans and everything, and like our whole fan base is really high on these guys, we have an underrated running back room in terms of a national level, in terms of the respect that we are getting on a national level, because again, like most of you probably think, I thought that our guys were getting respected on a national level, and just before I did this, I did some research and just went on like Bleacher Report and some other sports, Pro Football Focus and all of those, just seeing who were the top running backs going into this year, the top 10. And you know who I didn't see in any of those? Not one single time did I see the name Kevin Harris in any of those lists. Apparently leading rushing in the SEC, the hardest conference, the best defensive conference in all of football, in all of the country, just doesn't mean anything. So straight off the bat, first of all, some of the better running backs, Breece Hall. I know Breece Hall is probably the best running back in all of college football. I have no problem in coming out here and saying that Breece Hall is a freak. You got some other guys like Bijan Robinson. I saw a lot of Deuce Vaughn. From Kansas State. Yeah, he's a good athletic, agility-wise guy, but strength, I think, is a different story. I saw a lot of Tank Bigsby. Like, Tank Bigsby being like I saw one rank him number 1 overall, and that just makes me, what's the word? That just makes me cringe, because I know what we have in Kevin Harris. You guys know what we have in Kevin Harris. The leading rusher in SEC regular season play last year is ready to do even more damage this year. Give him a full 12-game slate, and let's see what Kevin Harris can do this year, because we call him the bus for a reason. We call him the bus because he doesn't only run hard and run fast, but he finishes his runs off. Like, one play that comes to me off the top of my head, it was like it had to have been like 3rd and 2 or something like that for the Gamecocks against Georgia, and Kevin Harris gets swallowed, and I mean swallowed back up in the backfield. Like, you have 2 guys right on him. It looks like he's cradled up. The ref is literally about to blow the whistle. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just see Kevin Harris dive for a first down after being like hit first, like 3 yards in the backfield or whatever. Kevin Harris is just an exciting young player. He's got the speed. He's got the physicality. He's got the ability to hit holes very well, and Kevin Harris is a guy that, of course, all Gamecock fans are really looking forward to this season. The bus is back, and something definitely to be positive about and excited for this season for the South Carolina Gamecocks. How about we talk about number 1? A guy that has not touched the field yet for the Gamecocks, but yet still has the attention of all the Gamecock fans, like he's been playing for the last 4 years, the last 3 years, and he's going into his senior season. Marshawn Lloyd, highly recruited running back out of DeMatha High School, and I'm pretty sure that's in Maryland. One of the top-rated running backs in all of his class, looks to come out and do something special for Gamecock football this year. We know all the talks in practice and everything. This guy is legit. This guy is an athletic freak. You saw his highlights at DeMatha where he's hurdling guys over and then running through tackles. He's a freak. He's a freak of nature, and he's another guy. Just having Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd in the backfield, just saying that the Gamecocks, in my opinion, have one of the more dominant rushing duos in the country. Probably in the SEC, we have the best one. The Georgia, I'd argue, has a pretty good one. I'd say Ole Miss is decent. I'd say, I want to say Auburn just because of Tank Bigsby, but Alabama with Brian Robinson. But you put Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd, I think this backfield is going to be really, really special this season. Just getting Marshawn Lloyd and back and healthy when we were supposed to have him last year and getting Kevin Harris back. It's going to be a fun season for the backfield, but we still got some other guys that we need to talk about. So Quandre White, who was a transfer for us last year. Now, I've heard lots of talks about him moving positions and going to play for a weaker secondary in this Gamecocks defense this season. But if he still plays running back, he was a guy that got his fair share of opportunities and made the most of them when he got in last year. We just got good depth. I think that we just got good depth of guys. And another guy, like I could name another guy in this running back room, Rashad Amos. Now, if depending how long you went into this Gamecock season, if you're a loyal fan and watched every single game, you would have heard the name Rashad Amos a bit towards the end of the season. I think Georgia's when he had his biggest game. And you saw him break out for some runs. He's got good speed. We have a good, solid running room. And if injury does strike us again, the Gamecocks are still going to be fine at the running back position. It feels good. Obviously, there's no chance any of us wish any of these guys to get injured. But it feels good to have that confidence that if the worst comes to the worst, we still have a really, really good running back room. And this is by far the room that I am most excited for this season. The room that you as Gamecock fans should be most excited for, because we got some serious talent here. We got about 2 years left. Maybe one more. Kevin Harris might go to the draft next season, depending how this season goes. But we have 1 or 2 seasons left with Marshawn Lloyd and Kevin Harris. Let's go make the most of it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it, and definitely come back next time.